Alright, what is going on, guys? We're gonna go right up here. I'm actually gonna do a motovlog, not motovlog, but review about why I chose the Yamaha Wr250R. We're gonna talk about pros and cons, but definitely things I love about the bike, things I hate about it. You see them here and there, but just review wise, and I really feel like a majority of people just watch dirt bike channel type or dirt bike magazines, find out what they say about something. Let's be realistic, they're getting paid to review it. I'm not, so I'm going to tell you my honest to God answer to questions if you have them. So go ahead, throw them in the comments. So we're going to ride up here and we'll talk about it. Okay, let's talk about things I do like about the bike. First things first, the maintenance on it. Super easy. All you're having to do, change out the oil. It says every 6 months, 3,000 miles. Super easy. Next thing, reliability. Great. I've actually have 4,400 miles on this. It's a 2016. I've rid the shit out of it. It's never left me stranded. I've crashed it. In one of my other videos, I'll throw that into a little tag at the end. But no, it keeps going. I've yet to ever overheat it. You never have to touch. Yeah, it says 4 valves. You never have to check them until 26,000 miles. That's insane. Do I believe that? I think it all depends on how you're riding it. Same thing with maintenance, taking care of it. I think at the 3,000 it says, I would cut all that in half if you're doing off-road, like I am. And all of that, the 26,000 miles checking valve, clearance, doing oil changes, all that. I would say that's more street-oriented. Fuel injected. Fuel injection feels nice compared to other bikes I've ridden that is carbureted, especially in higher altitudes. Granted, you're still going to have an issue on altitude when you have fuel injection. Doesn't matter, it's going to happen. So, performance-wise, yeah, it's a great bike. It's not the fastest bike in the world. It's a 250cc. It's nothing like the 250F or it's a immediate, you just twist that throttle and that thing just shoots out like a bullet. It has its own kind of speed, you know what I mean? It's not a bad bike whatsoever. It's a good intermediate bike, but with the performance, it just on road, it's great. I think I actually hit 90 on this thing. I mean, I'm not the fattest person, but I'm also not the skinniest, so hit 90 on the thing, like that is just shows you right there how, and it's a 6 gears. That just shows you how far spread apart every gear is. So that kind of brings into cons of what I don't like about it. Stock is gutless. You hit that throttle unless like first gear, unless you make it with dropping that fork and then pulling, that's the only way you're going to get that front to pop up. By just power wheeling it is only in first. That's what I noticed for me. I can clutch it in second, but it's hard. It really is. You have to clutch it and pull pretty good. That's all stock wise. I personally have changed out my front counter sprocket from a 13 down to a 12. Has helped tremendously. But I still feel like for me, I want to do a little bit more, kind of not really crazy enduro, but a little bit more challenging stuff. I actually ordered a 51 tooth for the rear, and I'm going to put my stock 13 back on the front. The rear is a 43 tooth, and that's tiny. It really is. Another thing I don't like about it, which it's at this point it's just cosmetic wise, hate this big ass taillight assembly. It's just stupid. It just looks, I don't know, I just don't like the turn signals. Looks like bug eyes, you know? Looks like Dumbo. Easy fix. I've already decided. My next upgrade will be from Solo Racer doing the integrated taillight, which would be awesome, you know. Just half of your turn signal will blink, you know, for use your turn signal. I'll obviously have to do just generic smaller ones up here. That'll be great. When you do buy it though, it sucks. There's no skid plate. That was skid plate and handguards were the first things I did before I did anything else. Was that those two things? It has these little plastic little pieces, but let's be realistic. If you looked at them, it was just they were junk, crap, complete crap. So I got that Boost Racing skid plate. Kind of spendy. I actually thought it was metal. I should have done a little bit more research, but it's actually a plastic. Like a real hard plastic. Haven't had an issue with it. Handguards are actually for a Wr250F that was set up for 1 1/8 bars. So what I had to do after I got it and realized it, these little brackets down in here, I don't know if you can see them, I'm trying to get them on camera. There's these little brackets. I can replace those. But it was $50 just for these two tiny little brackets to sit on the bars. I decided just to use a little ingenuity and put some leather on the inside. Tighten them up. They work perfect. Something else I've changed up. My mirrors, obviously. The stock ones are just big, bulky. They don't fucking move. And so I put these ones. They're floppy. I don't see crap out of them. I just leave them down. Just for being legal. Yeah, I got a little piece of rope sitting right here just because I rattled a bolt out recently. And not being able to go down and pick up a new bolt just to hold on the headlight. That's just simple maintenance shit. Not even bitching about it. Another thing that I've had to put on, radiator guard. Does not come with one. It just has this little plastic piece over the front. It's not going to protect anything. Absolutely nothing. So, Flatland Racing radiator guard. Pretty good. I like it so far. Hasn't really saved me from anything because I haven't really done anything too crazy. Or at least crashed on that side. Stock tires. Oh my god, absolute garbage. Get rid of them. I didn't believe it when I was riding around with them. I was like, yeah, whatever. As soon as I got these Kendas, huge difference. Way big difference. Still kind of wish I would have done the Dunlop D606 in the rear. And something, you know, that MT21 in the front would have been great. But I went with these Kendas. Good price. Figured I'd give it a shot. I like them so far, but I still think I might swap back to my original thought process when these finally wear out. But yeah, so we're 4,400 miles. Great bike. Love it. But there is a lot of mods that could be done to it to really wake this thing up because it is very quiet. You know, it's definitely more the mellow on the street bike, unless you're willing to put a little bit of effort and money into it. I went this route just because I don't have the time or the money to continuously just do maintenance on a vehicle, on a bike, ripping apart the motor. I can't do it. So, if you decide to go with this bike or you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the comments and I'll let you know. Answering the best I can anyways. Oh, one more thing I'd like to say that I thought of. This bike is not for a short rider. Made me realize, I remembered that after I'm trying to get on this thing. I think it sits at about 36, 37 inches. It's a taller, you know, dual sport bike. So if you're fairly short, yeah, you're gonna have a real hard time unless you buy the lowering link. I am 5'10", 5'11"-ish, and I fit just enough on it. I can't flat foot it. I can tiptoe both sides, but good enough. You're riding anyways. You don't ever need to flat foot all the time. Well, I hope that review helps some of you on your decision to buy it or keep looking. I'm a very happy customer. I looked for a very long time for a bike. I looked at a Honda Wr250R for a very long time. Almost bought it until I finally test rode it. I was so disappointed in that bike. I mean, it was just, I thought this thing was gutless. No, that was just horrible. But if you're just looking for a cheap bike just to finally kind of get into the sport, see how you like it, yeah, that wouldn't be a bad price range, you know. It's, I think, just under 5,000. Well, this, what I'm riding, is sitting at just under 7,000. So you got to kind of choose, see what's best for you money wise.